Hello, my dear friends, and welcome to the Studious Starfish, where reading and learning is fun. We are so glad you are here. Are you ready for a story? Well, if you said yes, let's go and let's read a book together. A fairy tale about climate change from Free Kids Books. Take a look at the picture. What do you see? Do you think that you could make a prediction or a guess what the story is going to be about? Well, this is a story about a princess that loved ice bears. Do you see the ice bear in the picture? Everything in the land was so perfect because everybody respected the laws of nature. However, one day a wicked witch cast a spell over them so that they no longer cared about the environment. Find out what happens in this story about climate change, and let's learn about climate change. Many years ago, in a kingdom far away, there lived a beautiful princess. She had long golden hair and loved ice bears so much that everyone called her the Ice Princess. The kingdom had beautiful snowy peaks in the north, lush green forests in the south. There were many friendly creatures living in the mountains, forests, lakes, and rivers, and the air was filled with birdsong. Every evening after dusk, the Ice Princess went out on the balcony and clapped her hands. A white bear came running out of the valley and bowed before her. The princess sang songs, and she and the ice bear danced together. Everyone in the kingdom enjoyed the festivities and were very happy. All the animals and the people in the kingdom were friends because they were all vegetarian. The people of the kingdom were very healthy as they lived in a beautiful, clean environment where all their needs were catered for abundantly. No one in the kingdom took more than they needed, and so no one wanted for anything. No one ever fell ill since they had all the nourishment and clean living they needed to thrive. That is, until one day something terrible happened. A wicked witch learned about the Ice Princess and her wonderful kingdom and decided to curse them.
Pollution. May the kingdom of Ice Princess pollute,
the witch said, and so cast a spell on the people of the kingdom. Slowly, under the witch's spell, the people stopped caring about keeping their kingdom clean and healthy. They littered and polluted the forests and rivers. They chopped down trees without replanting them. They started using harmful chemicals and they built factories and made fires that produced toxic fumes. Slowly, the kingdom of Ice Princess turned as black as tar. Different diseases spread because the air and food were not clean, and all the people fell ill. The streets became full of litter, and the flowers and remaining trees wilted and died. Many unusual and strange things began to happen. The weather was changing, and the land began heating up. Sometimes there was heavy rainfalls and floods, and other times there was not a single drop of rain. That evening, the Ice Princess went out on her balcony and clapped her hands. The ice bear appeared crying.
Princess, please help us. The snow is our home, and it is melting away at an alarming rate. Where should we live?
The Ice Princess became very worried. She couldn't understand what had happened to her beautiful land. Her eyes filled with tears. One of the princess's tears fell to the ground below. Just as the tear fell on the ground, a fairy appeared in front of her and promised to help. The saddened princess asked the fairy, "Tell me, how can I make my people and my kingdom healthy and happy again?" The fairy replied,
I think a witch has disturbed the balance of greenhouse gases. But don't worry, we can fix it by planting more trees and cleaning the surroundings.
The princess wondered, Greenhouse gases?
Yes,
The fairy exclaimed.
these gases trap some of the warmth of the sun, making the earth a place where we can live. If this was not the case, it would be very cold on earth, too cold for humans to live.
She continued.
But the witch has added more of these gases into the atmosphere by making the people burn the trees, use dangerous chemicals, build dangerous factories, and litter all around, and this caused climate change.
The fairy explained that the climate change caused the snow to melt and the dangerous extreme weather. The princess, with the help of her people, planted trees everywhere in her kingdom again, collected the trash, and stopped harmful pollution, replacing bad energy sources with clean energy like windmills. The curse of the witch broke, and then a miracle happened. The land of the kingdom became beautiful and full of gardens again. The princess went out on her balcony and clapped. And in no time, the ice bear came running and delightfully bowed before her.
Thank you, Princess. You saved our lives and our homes.
The princess sang a beautiful song and danced again with the ice bear. The people promised to watch out for evil spells that cause harm. The fairy helped the ice princess create a charter that protected the kingdom and ensured everyone would keep to their promise and help keep the kingdom clean and healthy. From then on, everyone was delighted again and lived together happily ever after. The end. That was the end of our story, and now here are some tips for preventing climate change. Just like the people in the story, if you and I don't look after our environment, we will also begin to suffer consequences. Climate change can cause loss of polar ice caps, floods, severe weather, and more. Here are some things you can do for climate change and to protect the environment. Plant native trees and collect rainwater for watering. Use clean fuel sources such as an electric vehicle and reduce your fuel footprint. Walk or bike or use public transport instead of your carbon-fueled car. Don't select one-day shipping. Delivery trucks take more trips that way. Use clean energy such as solar or wind when available. Use paper bags and glass bottles instead of plastic. Bring your own cup instead of using disposable ones. When you do need to use plastic, try to use recyclable plastic. Use recycling options to dispose of waste whenever available. Don't waste electricity or water. Use energy-efficient light bulbs. Use a half flush in your toilet. Wash clothes in cold water whenever possible, and always do a full load. Ensure to switch off appliances and lights not in use, and help spread the word about being cleaner and greener. It's chat time with the studious starfish. I have 2 questions for you. Let's start. First of all, can you tell me one thing that you learned today about climate change? Did you know what it was before? Alright, my second question for you is, what is something that you can do about climate change? This story was brought to you from the Studious Starfish. We hope you enjoyed the book and even learned something new. If you liked this story, click the like button. If you want to share it with your friends, click the share button below. Be sure to subscribe so that more stories can come your way. See you in the next story time. Bye-bye!